I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, them. And I'ma tell him where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state. And of course, as always, I'm upset.
Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
Good afternoon, good people. It is I, the Maize Madman, and I'm upset. You know why? Because I saw the same thing that you guys saw. I watched the same game everybody else watched. Michigan, in the end, wins the game 27-24, despite every effort by the Wolverines not to win this game. They tried very hard not to be successful today, especially in the second half, but eventually they come through 27-24, and it wasn't very pretty. I got to be honest. First half, I thought Michigan played pretty good football. I like what I was seeing from the offense. I thought Alex Orji looked decent. He was completing some passes, even threw one over 10 yards that was complete. It was decent. Maybe that one came in the second half. Who knows? But anyway, it was okay is the bottom line, right? Like, it looked like a good, decent half of football. Michigan, I believe, goes into halftime up 21-3, right? Second half, completely different story. It got disgustingly ugly for the Wolverines. They allowed Minnesota, who, by the way, I'm not gonna don't play yourselves. Minnesota's not a very good football team, and I'm talking about on like an elite level. They are not elite at all. They're not good. And Michigan just made them look like an excellent football team. The bottom line is this, though. And shout out to G Boulder. Michigan is 4-1. They move on. They're 2-0 now under with Alex Orji as the starter. Alex Orji threw his first pick today, which was gross, by the way. He had Colston Loveland open. He threw it late. He threw it inside when it probably should have been, well, not even probably, should have been outside, and he probably should have let it go a little earlier. I got my guy finally with me, the Maniac. By the way, we got some people in the queue, too. We're going to get to you in just a second. First, let me see what my brother thinks of this game. What were your thoughts of this game?
It was a Jekyll and Hyde game. Simple as that. Michigan looked beautiful, dominated, looked like we was on our way. But something told me, man, it's something about, look, I'm going to just tell fans from the rip, this is the way they're going to win majority of the year. I'm telling you, this is the way it is. Don't expect no blowouts, nail biters. But the problem is they just collapsed, man. That was bad.
Second half was very bad. It was ugly football.
That fourth quarter.
It was pretty disgusting.
That fourth quarter was atrocious. Once they almost returned that punt return, I said, here we go. It's going to go right down to the nail.
Disgusting.
And that's it. That tempo had the defense tired.
Hit the like button, people, if you
they were able to score. And it was bad. But I will say this. We won. That's the good thing. And we are this is game 5, yet to play a 60-minute game of football. Right?
That's a fact. We got some people in the queue. We gotta get to them. I'm gonna start with Cam. You were here first. What's good, Cam?
What's good, man? This man, hey, listen, man. What I saw from PJ Flack, and everybody talk about him and how he coached. He coached better than Sharon Moore. You see how they guys was motivated? You see the fire and PJ Flack that had on our sidelines. We have no fire, no enthusiasm, nothing.
Yeah.
So
I
what I
will say
say,
this.
I go ahead.
Yeah, I will say this. PJ Fleck did a phenomenal job in the second half of that football game, and not letting this team, get down, because they easily could have just packed this one up at halftime, right? And been like, look, it is what it is. But he didn't allow that. He definitely outcoached Sharon Moore in the second half of that football game without question. And I will say this: the fire wasn't there from Sharon Moore. It didn't look like it was just very sloppy. A very sloppy second half of that football game. Maniac, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah. So what I would say, Cam, is that remember, football is a game of momentum. You're gonna see a game where Michigan is gonna beat the Minnesota, and you're gonna look at the other sideline like, oh, that coach didn't motivate it. It starts. It's like a snowball effect. The snowball's getting bigger, and you're like, oh shit. And Michigan panicked. Let's be real. They panicked. And you could see it in their faces. You saw it in the body language. Thank God for Khalil Monies. And again, penalties. Penalties killed us. When the wide receiver English on that hole, we would have been like on the 3-yard line. Get us back. We kicked that field goal. So again, we shooting ourselves in the foot. And I know people are gonna talk about that onside kick. Oh, he wasn't offsides. But I tell you this, Grant got held.
Oh yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
he did.
For sure.
Yes,
It was
he did.
obvious, bro. He tackled him.
But look,
Nothing. TJ Guy, he took his helmet off. And they didn't even call that. And he still made a sack. He like, yo. So I don't want to hear nobody crying about officiating, bro. Michigan had a lot of freaking calls go against them.
Yeah, we was getting hold the whole game.
Mason Graham.
Hold on. I gotta get to the. We gotta get to the super chat here
man.
from my guy Dom. Shout out to Dom.
That was bad on the officiating.
Orgy lacks composure and competence. Stop hating no more. Harbaugh left him nothing. Jaden Davis better play before Brady Hart arrives. Look, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with Orgy lacks composure and competence. Competence is strong. I wouldn't go that far. His composure certainly is in question in the second half of this football game, especially as the game was winding down. That's that can be called into question. Hating on Moore. I don't think anybody's hating on Sharon Moore. And I haven't read all the comments, so certainly that could be going on. I'm certainly not hating on Sharon Moore. I think he did an excellent job in the first half, particularly excellent is probably strong too. I wouldn't use that word. He did a good job in the first half. Second half, he was clearly outcoached. There's no question about it. And then Jaden Davis, look, I was a person who was calling for this dude to play. I'm not that person right now. I do think Alex Orji is the quarterback right now. We got to let him rock. He did some positive things. He completed some passes. He had at least 2 passes dropped. So there are some things, some positive things. That the interception was unquestionably bad. I'm not going to front on that. That was a bad throw.
It was a bad throw. Man,
and the dude was open. He could have thrown a better pass. That probably would have been a big game.
I think he was so shocked that Colston was so wide open. Because look at him. He's like looking and he's hesitating. Bro, right off the rip, he should have that should have been an easy touchdown. Regardless, there should be no Orgy slander. In the second half, I get it. This is only game 2 for him, guys. Remember, game 2. And he threw for more yards, and he looked better. That's what we wanted to see, right? We wanted to see progression, and he showed that.
All the time.
So we got to be patient. We know he ain't a great passer. I think the coaching staff did some good things. Now they got to implement more because next game, we're going on the road in a hostile environment. I don't care what anybody say about Washington. That's no gimme. Michigan has no gimmies on their schedule. I'm telling you right now. Any fan, we ain't going nothing. Every game is a 50-50 for Michigan because this is the type of stuff that can happen to them, right? It was domination, 21-0. Once they get that, and why block the ball down, Zeke? Why are you trying to?
By the way, that the Hail Mary that ended up with a field goal at the end of the half, he didn't catch that.
He didn't catch that.
But that's a whole nother story. That ball hit the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, and Michigan again, another area where Sharon Moore was out coached. He got to call a timeout right there.
Yeah.
But he did not, and then they ran down, kicked the field goal. All right,
And
but that's neither here nor there. Michael Newman says, "Why not just give Tuttle a try? Justifying Orgy based on winning is like classic fallacy. Tuttle is finally healthy and is average, which we take." What are your thoughts on this, Cam? We got to let you go here in a second because we got
okay,
some other people that want to get up. But what's your thoughts on
man.
this?
So
All I wanted to see is that our players fight for our quarterback, and we didn't see none of that in the second half.
That's
Because
fair.
if you saw the Minnesota wide receiver, they was fighting for all the catches, tough catches. They was fighting for it. And my thing is, how can that offensive coordinator on Minnesota call a good ass game against our defense, and our offensive coordinator cannot call a better offensive in the second half? That blew me away, man.
That's
yeah, I
fair,
mean,
man.
it's adjustments. We got to take into account too, right? PJ Fleck, look at his record at Minnesota. The guy's 5-0 in bowl games. This guy is good. Like, let's stop acting like PJ Fleck is some slouch. He's one of the better coaches in the Big Ten. So we also got to give credit to that team, right? They did good things. That's what good teams did. What Jesse Mensah did. He was the king of adjustments. Second half, Michigan defense will go out there and dominate. So that's what good coaching staff does. Again, people, they're going to complain about Orgy. Listen, I think he did fine. Honestly, we really
I
did.
don't. The second half was questionable. Real quick, Cam, we appreciate you coming up, man. We're gonna let you go.
All right, appreciate it. Go blue.
You're a madman.
Go blue,
Absolutely,
Cam.
go blue. We're gonna bring up Kicking. We're gonna get to you first, and then Burks, the Wolverine. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna get to you second. Kicking, what you got?
Kicking. You there?
Kicking chicken.
I
All
don't
right, we're
know.
gonna drop you. We'll bring you back up once you're ready. Oh no, we don't want to kick you out of the.
Can you mute? No. Just
Kicking
mute him
studio.
and
All
then
right,
you'll
there
go
we go.
back.
Burks, what's good, baby?
Yo, what's up, man? I just came back from the game actually. I'm actually waiting for the train and
Dope.
this is actually crazy. I've never seen the big house this quiet in the second
Yeah,
half ever, man. It's
yeah.
crazy, dude. It was so quiet that you could literally like a freaking protest in Detroit is freaking louder than that. It was crazy. But but literally, I just want to say, like Orgy, man, I feel like he's not it, man. I think Jack Tuttle is the guy. I feel. What do you guys think of that?
You want to?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I think again, like my man pointed out, it's only a second start. He was. I think he works better for what Michigan has personnel wise. We don't have difference makers on the outside. The Michigan's best chance to win is to be able to run the football and then take some play action shots. Uh, and I think he works best for that because he puts an extra person in the box. He brings somebody down. It's a numbers game, right? You got the offensive linemen, you got the running backs, especially when they do the two running backs like they did today with
Finally.
with Edwards and Mullings and with Alex Orji. That now puts the numbers in Michigan's favor. That's 9 people that you have to account for, and I think that's the best way for Michigan to win right now because again, if we had Braylon Edwards on the outside, then I'd be more apt to go with you and Jack Tuttle.
Yeah.
Boxing Maniac, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Burks, my man, you hit it on the nose. Based on personnel, Orgy is the better quarterback. Now, Tuttle, like he said, we had Donovan People-Jones and Nico Collins out there. Then, yeah, let's put Tuttle in because we got to get these receivers the ball. And look, Samaj, a lot of players didn't play today neither. Let's take that into account. But as you say, that's here nor there. But I get it, guys. I get what people's frustration is, right? We want this, we want that. But look, we got to be patient. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got to be patient because this is Orgy's second game. And when he had the best receiver on the field, Colston Loveland, he looked much better. And he connected with him about 4 or 5 times. So again, look, the main thing is this team is there every week. It's something, right? Going into the USC game, I had no confidence based on how that Arkansas State game ended. Now, the same thing. The way this Minnesota game ended, going into Washington just coming off a loss to Rutgers, right? Oh, that's going to be, and it's a night game. It's going to be tough. And, those 4 starts, Michigan can't start 1st and 15. You don't want that with that kind of offense we have, right? So this is going to be that Washington game next week, guys. That's going to really tell us a lot about this team as well. I think they can win that game. But again, we could say it, but we got to see it. They got it. Orgy's first game on the road. We're going to see what this team is made of and how do they react in the way this game ended, because I know it's going to leave a sour taste in their mouths.
Burks, let me ask you a question. You being there today, at what point do you think the momentum shift? Not you were there, so it's not even a thing. At what point in the stadium did the momentum shift in terms of the fans and the decibels in there?
Yeah, after halftime, man. Like the first half, it was loud and like pretty loud, I would say. But like after like halftime, like Michigan not scoring, and
Right.
punting and all that stuff with Orgy and stuff. It was like just pitch quiet. Like holy shit, man. Like
What are the people saying in terms of the quarterback situation? What are they saying in the stadium?
Yeah, no, people wanted Orgy like out. Like they were not huge Orgy. They were even. I actually heard some boos when Orgy made like a bad throws. Like a lot of boos, kind of like with Cade McNamara back in his Hawaii game when everyone started booing at him because JJ McCarthy had like an amazing game and they put him in and he threw a pick or something. Right. It was similar vibes, kind of, So yeah.
No doubt, man. Burks, we're going to drop you. We got another person in the queue. Shout
Burks,
out to you, though. Go Blue,
of
course.
Of course, go Blue, man.
Go Blue.
Yes, sir. My guy G, what's good?
Oh, man, what's good? What's good?
First time on the live. What's up, man?
Man, so this is my take on it. I'm watching the game, and I heard you ask me where you think the momentum changed and all that. I think they got complacent. I think we got up 24-3 the fourth quarter, and they kind of took their foot off the gas. And you know how it is when adrenaline get going. Minnesota start calling faster plays, speeding the game up, and now Michigan is starting to lag. I think they played a good game. Everybody gonna look at, they start messing up in the fourth quarter. They just missing that Mike Sanders still. They missing that dude that's gonna pull them by the collars and like, let's go. They don't have that true emotional, player that's out there getting them to go right now. And I think that's the only thing they lacking. I think they look real good in that first half. All the way through the third quarter, they look good. It's 24-3. But they got to realize that, once that adrenaline starts shifting the other way, it's hard to catch up. And that's when Minnesota starts speeding up. So just like in a basketball game, we should have called a timeout, pull these guys to the side, put that little fire back under them and finish the game stronger. And that onside kick, they can say what they want, but they touched the ball before it went 10 yards anyway. So it should have been 2 flags on that play anyway. So we're not going to even look at that. Bro.
Yeah, we already spoke about that, G, man. There was a lot of calls that didn't go Michigan's way. So I don't want people crying, talking about, the reps. Listen, it was bad both ways. That Mason Graham on that 4th down, that wasn't hands to the face. He had him by the collar right here.
Yeah, that was gross.
This is hands to the face. That's hands to the face.
Yeah.
And what they did, they get the first down, they score a touchdown. Sports is a game of momentum.
This guy.
Yeah.
It's a game of momentum. So once that momentum was on their side, bro, like you said, G, now they speeding it up. Now you play with confidence. Now it's like, we could win. At first they wasn't. So the beauty about this, guys, again, we won. I don't care how anybody feels. We won the game. Michigan is 4-1, right? 4-1. Based on what we saw the first 2 weeks, if I tell you we 4-1 going into Washington, I don't think nobody's going to complain. Yes, we got to get better, and the team has to understand that we got to play for 60 minutes. The game is 60 minutes, not 30, not 25, not 15, 60 minutes. And once they realize that, bro, they'll win games going away more often.
So,
No
so
doubt.
one other observation I have, and I'm gonna let you go to the next person, but it seemed like they calling plays not to, not to lose instead of just to win. Like you say, this is a team we not, a lot of the guys not as experienced playing together, but they got experience getting in games here and there. This the fourth game of the season, fifth game of the season. We got to start letting go now. We got to take the reins off. Orgy, the first couple of passes, them crossing patterns, that's what we need to get him going. We got to recognize, okay, the deep pass, he ain't there all the way yet. But man, when he was hitting coasting on them crossing patterns and them little, man, get him going, because that's going to start moving them linebackers and everybody out the way. You see, that's how Mullins hit that first touchdown. That misdirection, they got them guys going the other way. But go blue. Like I say, we'll be in the playoffs. We're gonna beat Texas in the first round,
I
and
love
we're
that.
gonna go from there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking
Go
about. We're gonna
blue.
There you go,
go
baby.
blue.
G,
All
go
right,
blue.
fellas.
Absolutely. Shout out to G, man.
Yeah,
Real quick before we get to you kicking, responding a little bit to what G was saying, I think it is time to take the reins off a little bit. What Orgy can do, what the offense can do. He completed a pass down the field, if you will, right? It had more than 10 air yards. The look to Colston Loveland was the right one. I even saw him read the defense today. I think Joe Clapp pointed that out too. He went from the left to the right before making the longest throw of the day for him. So I think, those sorts of things are positive things to take from.
Yeah.
Kicking, what's good?
Hey, baby.
What's going on, champ?
Hey, so yeah, man. It was a nail biter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but uh, I don't know what's going on with this team, man. It seems like come the second half, it's kind of like they just slow down. Like they're not pushing the ball. They're not really trying to help Orgy look at passing the ball more. I understand that they don't really have much confidence in the guy, but you got to give the dude some opportunities. And yeah, that pick. Okay, I'll take that pick. At least he was, almost had that ball. But yeah, I don't know, man. Jerome Moore needs to open. I think he needs to just take over the offense, man.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a few weeks now. I do think he needs to take over the play calling because it's an art to it. It's not just about going up and drawing up plays and having some things, Madden style look good on paper, right? However, it is about knowing what to call, when to call it, and I think Sharon Moore showed that he can do that last year. He was good at doing that. So it is a question now of whether or not he should take over the play calling. Maniac, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think again we're there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect from the first half to the second half. We saw that 2 weeks in a row, right? That's something the coaching staff has to figure out. Listen, we got to push the pace more. We got to be a little more creative. And again, penalties kill Michigan. We got to take that into account. That last drive where we hit the field goal to go up 27-17, that should have been 31-17 because we would have been on the 2-yard line, right? Michigan blocked the punt. Michigan caused, 2 turnovers. So, and also shout to Jerry Hill. What a game. He's getting better every week. I think the defense played well, but you know what? When you're on the field a lot and they found the weakness in this game, they said, tempo, let's go. And that tempo worked, man. And that's coaching. And PJ Fleck is one of the best in the Big Ten and one of the best in the country, period. If PJ Fleck had a roster like a Michigan, like a Penn State, like Ohio State, bro, he'll be an elite coach. He's that good. He just don't got the dogs. He got some 4-star sprinkle here and there. They don't recruit horribly, but they bottom.
Yeah. They recruit good for Minnesota. It's Minnesota at the end of the day.
Look, I get it. I don't mind. I think that in moments, Sharon Moore should take the reins. All right, look, sit back, Campbell. Right. I got this play. Boom, 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 boom. Or coach him up. Yo, what are you doing, man? We need to run more of this, man. Open it up. Do this. And I'm pretty sure he does. right? I don't think he's just quiet and let him run it. So
I don't know, man.
we don't look.
I don't know.
So all right. So I mean, I my opinion, but we'll see, man. We'll see because you know what? Our first road game, guys, night game on the West Coast. Michigan do they record? Check the record in the regular season in the West Coast. It's not a pretty one. So
Yeah.
let's see how we look Saturday. We're gonna have to open it up.
Before you go kicking real quick, I get to these super chats. Dom says momentum shift. Alex Orji 10 for 18, 86 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, third down efficiency, 6 of 15. The third down efficiency is not great. We know that. 10 for 18, 86 yards, not spectacular either. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. At least he threw a touchdown. But the interception we just talked about is a bad throw, late too. But he had the guy. There was the right read, wrong throw, wrong position of the throw.
Yeah.
But kicking, go ahead.
Hey, so yeah, I mean, we got to do better. Do we got an off week, a bye week this week?
Shout out to G.
No.
Appreciate you.
After this game.
Okay. Well, man. So, like you said, man, that up tempo is gonna. We got to find a way to control that on the defensive side, man. Like Wink's got to work better, and our secondary looked kind of suspect, man. They kept playing back instead of pushing forward.
Yeah. We also got to take into account. Remember, there was no Will Johnson out there today. There was no Josiah Stewart out there today.
Right.
And by the way, Amir Hall. Let's talk about Amir Hall for a second. Moment of silence for Amir Hall. They ran a play on Amir Hall's side. He was clearly the man that should have made the tackle. It was him one-on-one with the running back, I believe, that caught a pass out the backfield. Yeah. Somehow it was over there, and Amir Hall should have made this tackle, but he just stuck a hand out, stuck an arm out, while somebody else had to clean up that tackle. By the way, Zeke Berry had his worst game of the season in terms of one-on-one coverage for sure.
Oh yeah,
but, the secondary could have played better today.
At least he got the strip fumble.
Yeah.
Other than Jair Hill. Jair Hill is actually playing like the second best defender in the defensive backfield right now.
Yeah. Also, man, Makari Page, hopefully he's good to go.
Yeah.
If Makari, by the way,
Hillman was making.
I like Brandon Hillman a lot, and I was going to say I'm not wishing bad health on Makari Page, but if he is not back, I would like to see Brandon Hillman get that start. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. But okay, yeah, man. I'll let you go. I'm pretty sure you got other calls, man. I just wanted to get up on here and just kind of speak my piece on it. Again, man, Sharon Moore. If you look at that second half, he just kind of looked like he was just trying to cruise to a win, which we got it, but not the way we expected.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you kicking.
Yes. Kicking, my brother. Go blue. You
go blue, man.
Absolutely.
Yes,
we just dropped the link back in the chat for anybody that wants to come up. Before anybody comes up though, Maniac, what are your thoughts on what Kicking said before he got out of here?
No, man. I get it, man. People, look, we want to see greatness, right? We've been spoiled the last 3 years. I don't think play calling, but you see, people in the beginning, Amir Hall. Right. It's one of those games, guys. We gotta be patient. 1 week, we seen it. Zeke Berry been good all year. You said it. Today was one of his worst games, right? So we have to understand that these guys are filling each other out, right? The secondary's pretty much new, with the exception of Will, Makari, and Quentin. Those are the only familiar faces out there. So,
Absolutely.
And with no Will Johnson, who, say what you want, I know we don't have that in-your-face leader, but he's still the leader out there. And, he's very intelligent. His IQ is so underrated. I don't know why people think he's a dumb player, because he's not. So, trust me, we missed him, but I'm glad these guys got that. Look, I said it. Michigan is going to win a lot of games like this, guys. I'm just telling you. Whether you like it or not, I take an ugly win than an ugly loss. So, and you're only going to get better.
By the way, Kentucky got the upset over Ole Miss too. By the way,
that's what I wanted to say real quick before we let our brother Troy cook. So people, listen, 2-2 Kentucky, right? The team that just like Minnesota goes into the number 6 team in the country, SEC, Ole Miss. Oh my God, they're putting up 70 points. This is Lane Kiffin's best team and ever. They got a defense, boom, boom, and they lost. So this is what I'm telling you. Be grateful, bro. Count your blessings, Michigan
Absolutely.
fans. Count your blessings.
Before Troy speaks, shout out to Troy, by the way.
Troy.
Last night I'm playing my and by the way, I don't know where Kinetic is. I haven't seen him here today. But shout out to Kinetic. By the way, hit the like button if you haven't already. Story time, quick story time. Last night I'm playing my league game on the college football joint, right? My guy Troy hits me while I'm playing, like, yo, you gonna play, you got time for another one afterwards, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I get smashed in my league game. I don't even want to talk about that one, right? But then me and Troy play, and I get the ball first. I go like 3 and out, quick 3 and out. Troy get the rock. He drive like 90 yards down the field, score a touchdown. 7 donut Troy. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in for a long night, right? Troy doesn't score again for the rest of the game. Final score was something like 49-7. But shout out to Troy. He took it like a soldier. Hit me later like, yo, you know, friendships have been ruined for less than that. But shout out to Troy. What's good, man?
Troy.
I don't think he wants to talk now. Troy, hey, come back. Come back, Troy. We're gonna drop you down, bring up my guy. What's good? How we say that? Is it?
It's Jay Clee, man. I'm from Cleveland.
Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland. I'm from Ohio myself.
Hey, man, I will take you down to my man cave, but I got some stuff going. I'm trying to get renovated, but it's Michigan everywhere, man.
Of course.
You know, I love you. I like your I follow you on YouTube, man. I like on Instagram too. But I watched the game today, man. It is what it is. I think they're getting better each week as long as they can improve upon the team, the defense and offense. I think they can shock some people, man. I just want them to compete against Ohio State and beat them, because I'm sick of these suckers down here in Ohio where I live at. They talking all that smack every year. My girlfriend, she went to Ohio State. I got to watch that game tonight. I'm going to have indigestion watching that game and everything. But one of the things, though, I say is whoever we got behind center, they got to be able to throw the ball, because eventually they're going to have to throw the ball. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate you guys. Y'all take it easy.
Go Blue. Man. Go Blue, of course. Shout out to Jake from Cleveland. Go ahead, Maniac.
I wanted to also say something. In the first half, that pass protection was good. I don't want to hear nobody shit on that O-line in the first half. Orgy had time to make reads.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm not saying it was the cleanest pocket, but it was cleaner than last week and the week before that. And he made first downs with his feet, excuse me.
Absolutely.
So that's another element that he adds. And he's hard to tackle. He's not a wimpy quarterback that can run. Like, you got to, it's like hitting the running back. So I get it, guys. Understand.
Shout out to Aaron. This is
Yo,
big.
Aaron. Exactly.
Of course.
We're 4-1. I saw your comment, champ. You said we still yet to hit the 30 mark, 30 point. I get it. These are, Michigan, Michigan is going to always be in the phone booth. That's the kind of game they want. They don't want to fight in the middle of the street where you got space. We want to put you in the closed area. And that's it. That's going to be Michigan. If Orgy continues to progress like we saw some today, then listen, this is going to get scary for teams. I'm telling you.
We got back-to-back legends, Maize Madman legends of the channel coming up right now. Starting with my guy Troy. Shout out to Troy. I did a little story time, Troy. I thought that's why you went mute on us, but what's good?
No, man. Hopefully I'm not on mute right now. Can y'all hear me?
No, we got you loud and clear.
Okay, man. Yeah, I do want to give you your flowers, Maize Madman. You did cook me last night. It's all good.
It was late, man. You was tired.
I got yeah. I'll say that. But yeah, this game it's a continuing unhealthy relationship with the fans, man. I'm sitting over here with my blood pressure monitor sitting right next to me, and I didn't even want to check it, bro. Because you know it was like my game with you last night, man. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. You know,
No
orgies
doubt.
passing. You know, but I was encouraged by the first half again.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't seem like we can sustain anything in the second. 2 games in a row.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
And it
It
was
took
like a mirror image of that game last week in terms of the production in the second half compared to the first half.
yeah,
yeah.
man. And you
And
know, Troy is again 60 minutes. Michigan is yet to play 60 minutes. So in the way we built, we have to be consistent like that. We don't got JJ where because now the second question becomes, can Michigan get punched in the mouth early? We've been doing the punching in the mouth with the exception of the Texas game. Can we go down 10-zip to Washington next week and come back to win? That's the next question because it's going to happen, whether it be next week, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Michigan is going to be down 2 scores in one of these games, and we're going to see how they react.
yeah, I don't like our chances at at third and long, only because of the quarterback issues. I will continue to say I believe we're going to need Davis Warren or Tuttle or somebody at some point in this season
No
because
doubt.
it's getting scary out there, fellas.
It's spooky season, right? We right around the corner from Halloween. It's spooky season. Shout out to my guy Troy, though, man. We appreciate you coming up. Always stick around. By the way, go blue.
Yes,
Go
sir.
blue, guy.
Yes.
We leave from one legend to another
Dom
legend.
the Don. The
My guy
Don.
Dom was good.
How you gentlemen doing today?
We're
We
good,
doing
brother.
all right. Hanging in there, man.
You know, we're all guilty here of pointing out what went wrong. This could have been better. That could have been better. So my question is, if you're Sharon Moore, what are you going to do to fix it? Because it is what it is. And if I'm Sharon Moore this week, I'm working with the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working with Orgy. A lot of focus on Orgy, double sessions each day with Orgy, and James Davis or somebody else, they're getting reps as well. And as far as the play calling goes, I'm taking over. It is what it is. We have what we have. And for Moore, he needs to stop trying to befriend everybody, be everybody's friend, and be a head coach and take control, because ultimately at the end of the day, he's responsible for everything. And he's going to need to make some tough decisions in order to facilitate what we expect to see, which was the first half of last week, not this debacle that we saw today. That's what I have for you guys. Thank you very much.
Dom, thank you,
Absolutely.
brother. Dom.
My guy Dom coming through with the heat like he usually does. Shout out to Dexter Green. Said Troy looked like Whack 100. Yo. Let me find out Troy out here shaking people down, man.
Yeah, we don't know. He said, listen, man, I settled down now to be a Michigan fan. I don't do them things no more.
Right.
Man. But we gotta look. First of all, another thing. The pressure from the first half to the second half wasn't as consistent. Right. Minnesota, their pass blocking was much better in the second half. The quarterback was running for his life the whole first half, getting sacked. And Michigan's doing a good job of that. We just got to be more consistent. And what I do like, we are building depth on the D line. I seen Eno Etta out there. We saw my man number 91, of course, Rayshawn Benny. He had a sack. So TJ Guy got the start today. He played pretty well. I like the way he played. So again, this is crucial because this is going to be a team that we're going to have to lean on the defense a lot this season, and they're going to be on the field a lot. Hopefully I'm wrong, but that's what seems that's going to happen. Orgy, again, guys, I get it. I know it's getting scary. I get it. This is the Big Ten. Listen to me. This is the Big Ten. This is not the SEC, where if we had that offense in the SEC, it would have been lights out for Michigan. We could get away with that in the Big Ten. Not saying we're going to beat everybody, but we could compete in every single game running that offense. But it still needs to get better. I'm not settling. I'm not saying let's settle. I'm just saying based on what we run, we could compete with every single team on our schedule in the Big Ten because of the defense we have. So that's why I'm not like all nervous and like, oh, it's over. And we had Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama on our schedule with that offense. Forget about it. Absolutely not. And it's true, man. The Big Ten is good this year. But you know what? I saw Indiana today. They won, but Maryland was running the ball on them. So a lot of these teams are soft in the trenches still. They good offensively, but at the end of the day, Michigan is used to seeing these kind of offenses. I just hope that a tempo offense is not their Achilles heel, because if that's the case, then we got to look out.
Shout out to Philip LeMaze. That's perfection. I just want passable. That's fair. Yeah. Absolutely. Look, I think the offense certainly, and most importantly, the pass offense, it needs to improve, right? But we can't forget, I mean, Mullins had another game over 100 yards today. 2 touchdowns today. I like what they were doing with the motion with Donovan all game, even when they weren't throwing him the ball in that flat or whatever it was, you know, just giving the defense, putting the defense eyes on something else. I thought they did a good job with that, mostly in the first half, though. I like what they were doing more in the first half than in the second half with that. Colston Loveland was back, not 100%, obviously, but he still made plays. And had an opportunity to make a huge play if that ball is thrown better. If it's thrown to that outside shoulder rather than the inside, that's probably a touchdown. So it was some things that we could take from this and be happy about, right? Correct. At the same time, the offense needs to be better. The pass offense needs to be better. Every part of that needs to be better. Offensive line blocking, even though in the first half it was good, in the second half not so much. The quarterback play needs to be better. Wide receivers need to be better and get open. By the way, a couple of them, Bell, I think, dropped a huge pass.
That was bad. That was bad.
So, I mean, there were things to take from this that are positive. By the way, 201 people. We need 201 likes. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. Maniac, what you think?
Let me say this. Now, I want to, being that we pretty much, we got 40 minutes in speaking about this fight. Now we could look ahead. I don't know if you saw Washington yesterday at Rutgers. A game, real good game. Shout to Rutgers, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true, man. They got, you know, they just probably let their foot off the gas. Can't do that. So Washington has a very good running back. Number one. I forgot his name. His name. The guy is tough. Will Rogers is a very good quarterback. Now, I know my people say, Washington only scored 18 to Rutgers. Listen, this is a new Rutgers team. And that was on the road, on the East Coast for them on the night game. And it's going to be the opposite for us. We'll be on the West Coast on the night game. So, Dollar Tree Steak. He's going to sign, the Chick-fil-A Vikings are going to sign him.
Yeah.
Nah, look, he's gonna get better. He still made a catch or two out there. Michigan, look, I'd rather see Tuttle, Candia before letting Warren back on the field. Probably better just.
I definitely don't want to see Warren back on the field.
Yeah, look, I get it. You know what it is?
We've seen enough.
The gentleman that said, I don't want perfection. I want passable. I think this is what fans want. They want, and I'm telling you, man, Orgy throws for 350. Yo, but we got to run the ball while we pass this. They're not going to be satisfied. Listen, he threw for 32 yards. He had 80-something yards this game.
Right.
And a touchdown. Guys,
he more than doubled his output. So, I mean, he's getting better, right?
It's an improvement, and it's not yards. I'm not looking at the yards he threw for. I'm looking at his mechanics. I'm looking at his reads, his body language. It seemed more confident. He looked more confident in there. But, again, in the second half, someone mentioned it, I forgot who, that Michigan started to play to not to lose opposed to not to win. So now you get real conservative, and guess what? You pretty much just want to go 3 and out, kill clock and punt. You can't do that, especially when the team has momentum like Minnesota had, man. And it got scary, but Michigan found a way, man. Listen, when Orgy that fumble on that last drive to kill the clock, bro, I thought of Michigan State, the punt, and he has trouble with the snap. And the trouble with I said, bro, bro, if he would have just, that would have killed me. I would have
been when they kicked that onside kick and got it the first time.
No, it was over.
My heart sank.
I said it's over.
And here's the thing:
won that game. I'm telling you, they was not going to kick a field goal. PJ Fleck was going to go for the touchdown, and I think they would have done it. Honestly.
And let me tell you, when they brought that back and the ref, the former ref or whatever, did the replay and he wasn't offsides. You know what I mean? That was just one of those, thanks to the referee gods this time in favor of Michigan.
And I'm not, listen, I'm not saying that I want to win games like that, but I would say is that, again, there was a lot of penalties that didn't get called on Michigan's favor. How a guy's helmet is off his head, right, and you don't see that. You right there. You don't call it. Now you're the 3 blind mice. Then the hold on Grant where he tackled him, his arm is across his chest. Come on, man. Alex Orgy looked nervous. Happy feet. He did have a sweet throw to Loveland. There were a few throws that were rough. Parliament's O-line too. Well, Philip, I would say not in the first half. The first half, he was there in the pocket and he was looking and he had time.
I was made some reads, or at least one. He came off of 2, got to his 3rd progression on one throw. Yeah, so in fact, that was the most impressive throw to Loveland. Yeah.
It's getting better. Listen, this team is in a work in progress. So we understand that every week, as long as we getting better.
That's why I said second half, no doubt.
All right, Philip. I understand. So look,
shout out to the Phillips, by the way. All Phillips stick together.
Okay. I think Moore got to get together with the team.
And he spelled it with 2 L's. I like
it. We have to play for 60 minutes. If we're going to be Washington, so that my fault. That was a question. What did we see? It's okay. It's okay, Ghost. Listen, you can't win them more pretty. Remember, we 7-5 going into Columbus. Right. I mean, still could be possible, but we're 4-1. Got that road game before, and we could get to that. We could just win in Washington. I don't care, guys. Michigan is going to win, scratch, and claw their way to a lot of victories. We're going to be on these lives a lot complaining, and it don't matter if we win. I don't care. This is all that matter. A W. Yeah. We win 4-1.
End of the day, that is the biggest stat to have is the W in the win column. And right now, Michigan only loss is to the number 1 team in the country, in Texas. So I'm okay with that. Michigan beat another top 25 team last week. They won a tough one here. There was some adversity here. They still, pulled it out. Philip also brings up Miles Hinton, hoping that he's okay, which I do too. He's been Michigan's best offensive lineman this season, and without him, I'm not sure where they would be. Or where they are going to be going forward. Shout out to Rip Star, by the way. I don't give Rip Star enough love on this joint. I love the fact that Rip Star talks about themselves in the 3rd person too. Shout out to that.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious.
I'm okay with him by 1 every game. But play to our strengths, our run game could be much more lethal, in my opinion. I agree with this.
Let me. You know why we didn't run in this game? And correct me if I'm wrong. No, we didn't throw no quarterback draws. That's one. And no quarterback counters. When we have the 2 guards pulling, and we didn't run none of that. So you got to get RG going too, running the ball, make him a threat, because now we didn't pull the ball. Maybe one time I think he pulled the ball on the RPO, and that's it. We need him to run the ball more. We're gonna have him back there. That's the point of him being accounted for. That now they say, oh shit, Edwards or Orgy, Edwards or Orgy.
Maybe not beat PSU, but Oregon until if we're ready for Oregon.
I don't get that. If we're ready for Oregon based on Illinois, Penn State,
Do we play Illinois before Oregon?
Yes.
Maybe that's what
I
he's
get
talking
what
about.
he means. Okay,
Maybe that's what he's
I
talking
see
about.
what he
Yeah.
meant. Yeah, we do. We at Illinois before
Loveland went
Oregon.
out again. Yeah, I saw that he went out, but he came back.
I
right?
think it's more for precautionary. I
Yeah,
mean, he
yeah.
was playing hurt, like
Well,
you
and they
mentioned.
said the same thing about Miles Hinton, by the way, that he was out for precautionary reasons, not necessarily because
Look at we
he
sat all
couldn't
these
come back.
people out. Maize man, and we almost slipped up. There's no the only game right now in our schedule that we could probably watch it sitting down is the Northwestern game. And who knows?
Right.
Yeah, they tough, CR. I agree. Illinois.
Wisconsin up 14-7 on USC.
Ooh,
which doesn't look that's not gonna look good for us if Wisconsin wins that game.
I don't care. Wisconsin wins 42-7. We got the win. You can't look. you gotta understand something. Based on how we've been looking and all the questions we have, you got to take 4-1, man. And look, I think Minnesota's offense did better against us than USC did, because USC just had a lot of those was just blown coverages for Michigan in the secondary.
Yeah.
It doesn't work a full game because passing game isn't that. No, you're right.
True.
Look, the new life. We know the passing game got to be a little better. No one's saying that. Because, again, on the road, too, he's going to have to pass. There was no structure to hit his knee.
Carson Barnhart. Yeah, that's another name you're probably familiar with from that Penn State game last year because he was getting killed.
That was bad. Yeah, that's when we started. We ran 32 straight times.
Indiana is no joke either. No, you're right.
Offensively, they're a juggernaut. I'm telling you, they got those two running backs, number 6, number 17, and they well coach. A guy, coaching matters. I know a lot of people are hard on Moore, but bro, he just put this coaching staff together. He wasn't coaching at another college and brought his staff with him. This is a whole new staff. So honestly, I think he's doing a real good job. He don't know these guys. These guys.
To be fair, on the defense, he doesn't. But he knows Newman. He knows Kirk Campbell.
No, all right, yes. The defense, our secondary coach from Louisiana, linebacker coach, even though he did coach at Michigan, but let me see, take it for what it is. Yeah, listen, I know they're a tough team. I said it. I put it in the chat. It wouldn't be surprised if it's like 14-7 in the fourth quarter, because I know this Michigan team, madman, this is the kind of games we're going to be in a lot, right? This is the first game, like, woof, 21 zip. I could watch this sitting down. No,
I was getting comfortable too. I was feeling the same way.
I'm like this. My wifey is like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me." Oh, I hate when you watch Michigan because this is how
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope this is what I hope happens. I hope Illinois somehow wins that game tonight. I hope. Obviously, Indiana won, so that's cool. If first of all, I know poor little bro Nim has no shot tonight, so I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna put that into the air. But if we get past Washington, we play an Illinois team that's beating Penn State in Penn State during the whiteout, and get that win, I will feel much better about Michigan's chances going forward. But I'm with the caller earlier who said, I just want to, and now I think that was my guy Jake in Cleveland. Shout out to Jake. I just want to beat the other state, and that's huge at this point. If we get that,
and this is what I'm saying, man.
But
based on our style. You remember, like boxing, styles make fights. Michigan stylistically is not good for Ohio State. They can say what they want, but listen. Now, OSU's gonna pound y'all. No, all right. Listen. And then we lose by 3 points. They're gonna be talking like they beat us by 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you, we gonna Listen, it's different. That's a rivalry.
I mean, we won by 6, and I thought like we beat them by 1,000. So
good. No,
and that's what should happen, honestly.
Because based on the whole controversy that happened last year, they're gonna beat us this year now, and we saw what happened.
We can lose to any team on our schedule.
Yes.
This is a fact too. I think Michigan can beat anybody, and they can lose to anybody.
Yes, this is what I was just saying. With the exception of Northwestern, every game moving forward for Michigan is 50-50. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I know we could beat Washington, but in fact, I'm leaning towards Washington because we haven't seen Michigan on the road yet.
We got another caller. Shout out to AJ James. What's good, AJ?
Yo.
Hey, go blue. Peace, fellas. What's going on?
Go blue.
How you feeling?
Maniac. What's going on? So I got 3 phrases, man, to sum up what I saw out there today, man. Poor halftime adjustments on behalf of the offensive staff. Conditioning, because when you getting dog walked in the third or fourth quarter, that's conditioning. So I don't know what the transition is from Harbaugh staff to
Ben Herbert. I feel like we missing Ben Herbert.
Yeah, I don't know what
Tom said it. Tom mentioned it many times.
Yeah, man, like the last couple of games we winning on last minute drives. That's conditioning. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to pull it out your butt like Methuselah to win the game. You know. So, and lastly, injuries. Injuries, man. You know, when you don't have Will Johnson, when you don't got Stewart, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you don't have your guns, how you going to feel fully prepared to go to battle? Like that one screenplay that dude caught, Will Johnson would have picked that off. He's done it twice already. They wouldn't have even thrown that if Will Johnson was in the game because they would have been like, nah, that's 6. We can't risk that.
Right.
So
but like my man was saying, I think that we could absorb Will. At least we thought we could. We could absorb Will not playing in this game. Obviously, we did, and it didn't come back to bite us. And even Colston Loveland, I didn't think Colston Loveland would play at all, but he ended up playing in this game. Josiah Stewart didn't play in this game. We got to keep that in mind too. And he's our best pass rusher. So those things matter too a little bit. But I'm with you. Defensive depth, depth across the board. Honestly, we need better depth everywhere. And then the fact that in the second halves of these games we're getting out-coached, out-muscled, and looking tired, like my man said. I think that is contributed to Ben Herbert 1,000%.
Absolutely.
But absolutely. Maniac, what's your thoughts?
No. I mean, AJ, he makes some phenomenal points, man. I really can't disagree with that. The team has to understand that, and this is the thing. There's a lot of players on this team that was on that Natty team. So they know what it is to win. They know what it is to get pushed to the limit. So you got to expect Will and these guys to push these other guys. So you're right. That conditioning could come back to bite Michigan late. Because I could see us winning a good game, Illinois, Indiana, and then we gave up, 21 points in the fourth quarter. We can't do that moving forward, bro. We can't do that. And we gotta, I know Isaiah Stewart and Will Johnson, we also got to take into account. These guys are closers. They like Mariano Rivera for the Yankees. Once he was in there, game over. Will Johnson and Stewart, they could close the game out at any time. We didn't have them, right? But it also showed we need that because those 2 players are going pro next year. So we do need to build that moving forward. But regardless, we're talking about this season. So not having them on the field, yeah, absolutely. It did kind of hurt us. Because, I mean, we were sacking Boy in the first half. He couldn't do nothing. He had that lucky Hail Mary. It was incomplete.
That wasn't even a catch, by the way. But shout out to Struggle streaming with BK. He says, why would we make adjustments? We ate 21-3 at halftime. We just be talking. But certainly Michigan was up doing what they were doing in the first half, right? You got to anticipate, though, that everybody, the other team is going to make some adjustments, right? You have to have a plan B. Even if you come out doing the same thing you did in the first half, once it's not working, you got to be able to adjust, right? And I think that's the point. But AJ, go ahead.
Yeah, last thing I'm gonna get out of here, go blue. We were poor in the third quarter last week, so you always want to improve every week.
Of course.
We were poor, and we didn't have the adjustments for Orgy to matriculate into the counter punches for what we did in the first half last week, and it showed itself again in the third quarter this week. And that's when we lost. That's basically late third quarter is basically when we lost the game, basically, or was about. I should say. Sorry, but an ugly win is an ugly win is an ugly win. Go blue. Peace, fellas.
Absolutely. Go blue.
AJ,
Shout out to AJ.
Have a good one. Yeah,
yeah, man. I'm not mad at that at all, man. I think he made some solid points, very solid points, especially the conditioning, right? These last couple or all season really, especially in the second half. Conditioning matters. Ben Herbert was huge. Probably the best strength and conditioning coach in the country last year.
Hands down.
All these things matter and take effect.
And not only that, he installs toughness, right? That's something else. Not just got these guys ready physically, but mentally. Everything is mental. So that matters. That matters because in the fourth quarter, nah, bro, they don't work harder than us.
Shout out to DK.
DK. And to my man that said, y'all just be talking, champ, just like Maize man said, as you can see, Michigan, we was in quicksand. So what we do, just keep doing what we was doing in the first half if it's not working. That's what we trying to say, man. I get it. Now, if we come out the first half and the second half and what's happening what we did in the first half works in the second half, yeah, you don't adjust nothing, right? Don't, saying if it's not broken, the same. But it is, let me see. We did something different in the second half, though, man. We threw
7 passes in the third quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Even at the end of the game, I'll give him this. In the fourth quarter, with people like Joel Klatt screaming, yo, just run the ball, take every second off the clock. On that third down, they threw the pass. Who knows why it's incomplete. The clock stops. It gives them more time. So I will acquiesce to that. Absolutely. You're right about that. 7 passes for what in the third quarter. But I think they were just trying to get my guys some reps at that time. Being up 21-3 gives you that kind of room to do that. Of course, it came back and almost bit us, but yeah, for sure.
And you got to remember, just like anything in life, the more you do something, the better you get at it. So we need that, right? Everybody's talking about the passing game need to get better. How it gets better? Giving Orgy reps. You got to give Orgy reps. You got to I get it. Some of this shit don't make sense. I agree. But we got to get him reps. That's the only way he's going to get better. We can't say, he need to get better, but why he's throwing it? Then which one is it, bro?
And not just in practice, too. Like, this was a live game.
In the game.
Right?
And this is against
up 3 scores. So I understand the logic there.
Minnesota's a solid defense, man. So, look, this is the bottom line. We mentioned it many times. The only thing Michigan really has to do is, of course, besides improving in the past, they got to be a little more creative, more misdirection. We don't really do a lot of things. That first drive, they were dialing it up. That screen to Klein, boom, they were dialing it up beautifully. Went down the field, touched. I said, there you go. Right. There you go. That's Michigan drive. Then we just stick to the basics, man. We got to open it up more, Even though we did do one reverse to more, and Minnesota, they played it beautifully. They had a defender waiting right there, bro. He was like your mother. He was like your mother when she told you to come home at 8 and you coming home at 10, waiting for you right at the door. That's what that defender was doing with more. But look, man, regardless, guys, this is going to be every week. I'm telling you, y'all going to say, yo, maniac, you keep repeating yourself. And I'm going to be like, I told you, if Michigan beats Washington, we'll be here. Because that's going to be a late post fight. That's going to probably be around, post like 11 p.m. Post fight.
No doubt.
So it's going to be, listen, I don't care if we win 6-3. I'll take it.
Yeah, look, man.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that either. Kirk Campbell has not proven himself to be very effective thus far in the season. All right, look, man. It's a lot more college football going on. Y'all check it out. We will be back on Monday. Me and the Maniac back on Monday. Be sure to check that out. Thank everybody who came up and actually participated in the call-in, all of that. Shout out to my guy Sean Paul. I saw him in here. Readings by Dom, of course. Nevada Buck, of course. DK. All the mods. We had some new people hop up in the call up. So shout out to them. Real quick, if you're not a member, join.
Yes.
Join the Discord too. We got that set up. It's all ready to go too. That's in the description here. Follow my guy, the Boxing Maniac. His information is also in the description. YouTube,
Yes,
Instagram, all of that. And shout out to everybody who gave super chats. My guy Dom, of course, TS, Michael Newman. Shout out to Michael Newman and my dude G Boulder, who's also a member. Become a member if you're not already. Till next time, you already know the slogan. Stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.